Samuel Basallo will not be called up to the bigs, at least not right now. The Phillies have their eye on big Felix Bautista, and Tomoyuki Sugano will not make his scheduled start. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. There's a lot to get to. I am not happy that Sugano is not going to make his scheduled start. I will tell you why, and it's actually not the injury bug this time. Samuel Basallo, a star at AAA, he will not get called up to the big leagues as the Birds sign a veteran catcher to a minor league deal. We're going to dig into that. And the Phillies have their eye on Felix Bautista. What are they willing to give up? And should the Birds be buyers or sellers at the deadline? I will give you my take in just a few minutes on that as well. Spoiler alert, I think the Birds are not yet in a place to decide to be sellers. I think they should be buyers. The Birds are only 6.5 back in the wild card, and they have a chance to start closing this gap if they just can put together some good baseball. Again, this is Orioles Digest. Please like, subscribe, do all of the things because we're here for you all season, and there's just so much going on as the Orioles head into this next game with the Rangers. And I'm going to start with, where shall I start? How about with Tomoyuki Sugano? Sugano will not start for the Orioles tomorrow night. And the reason is the team is trying to give him as much rest as possible. You may recall he's used to pitching in a 6-man rotation during his career in Japan. So Tony Mansolino announcing that Sugano will not pitch on turn. He's going to get a break with the heat. And, and frankly, there have been some troubling signs with him as well. Mansolino insists Sugano is not hurt. This is just more rest. We will see. I don't love it because at this point, starting pitching is hard to come by, and you have to have durability. And Sugano has shown sparkles of brilliance this year, but especially with Zach Eflin scuffling a little bit. Not real happy with this Sugano news. In Sugano's stead, we will see Brandon Young, who, as you know, I have been high on this year, but, he hasn't looked great up with the Birds. He's given up 6 runs. He has the 9-8 strike and ball ratio over 8 2/3 with the 2 starts with the Birds. He recently returned from a shoulder injury at AAA Norfolk. Everybody's been hurt. And he threw 65 pitches in his last outing, which tells me that Young might just be a beginner tomorrow night, meaning he might just go 3 innings and then it goes to the bullpen. I think we're going to have to see tonight how long Charlie Morton goes. Luckily, Charlie Morton has been amazing recently, so I think if Charlie Morton can give the bullpen a rest tonight, you probably only need 3 or 4 out of Brandon Young tomorrow night, which may be all that he can give you at this point. And then you go to the bullpen, and hopefully, again, if Morton can go long tonight, the bullpen will be well rested. Now, it is not lost on any of you, I know, that put Maverick Handley in the concussion protocol right there. Jazz Chisholm just slamming into him around third. So Handley out for the moment with a concussion on the 7-day. All of you know, that I have been calling for Samuel Basallo to be called up. I've almost been begging, call this guy up, give him a chance, give the Birds a spark. I know he would lose, he would lose a year of eligibility, etc. I know all of that. But now, more than ever, we know that this is not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon, as the Birds today signed Jacob Stallings, most recently with the Rockies, to a minor league deal. He's a catcher. He'll be starting at AAA. So we will not see Basallo at the big leagues anytime soon. I did want to point something out, and this came from Jacob Meyer from the Baltimore Sun, and I thought this was fascinating. And I want to hear your thoughts on it, since there is a typo there, and I apologize for that. Since 2022, the Birds have promoted 9 top hitting prospects. Only 3 of them, Rutschman, Ortiz, and Holliday, were promoted with fewer AAA plate appearances than Samuel Basallo has right now. Let that sink in. Again, I know Mansolino has said, he wants Basallo to almost perfect all aspects of the game at AAA, not just the bat, but calling the game and the defense and things like that. But you just saw the stat. I mean, since 2022, the Birds have promoted 9 top hitting prospects, only 3 of them promoted with fewer plate appearances than Basallo has had. But again, the Birds sign a minor league catcher, so it ain't happening. One thing that could happen, however, is Tyler O'Neill could be back sooner than we thought. He has now progressed from single A up to double A. So we may see him sooner than, again, we expected. Now I want to go to, not that, but this. The Orioles star reliever, the great Felix Bautista, tabbed as a great fit for the Phillies ahead of the trade deadline. Absolutely not. I mean, and here's what Tim Kelly of the Bleacher Report is saying. He's saying he'd be a great fit, but because he can't become a free agent until after 2027, the price is going to be very high. Yeah, you're right. But yes, the Phillies need help. I mean, Jordan Romano, Jose Alvarado, their future's up in the air. So Bautista would be an amazing addition for the Phillies, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening, and I'll tell you why. For one, Felix has been great lately. Felix has been exactly what we had hoped. He would come back from injury. He had those 3 rocky outings from May 16th to 21st, but then, in 11 of his next 12 outings, scoreless outings, only 1 run given up. That was on May 30th against the White Sox, and you can see it here. Felix with the 2.7 ERA. His numbers are really, really looking strong. The Orioles will not, in my opinion, will not be selling Felix Bautista. You need him for the back end of the rotation. And if you sell Felix Bautista, it means the message it sends is we are not going to be a contending team anytime soon. And I'll leave you with this. Most of you know this, but I'll leave you with this. You have O'Hearn, Mullins, Eflin, Sugano, Soto, Dominguez, Kittredge, and Felix all going to hit the open market this winter. These are the guys that if you say, look, the Birds are going to be sellers, these are the guys that would have the price tag on them. I, my friends, am still holding out hope that the Birds can close this gap. And I think if the Birds, I'm not worried about 500 right now. If the Birds can be 4 games back in the wild card at the trade deadline, this team will not sell. I'm Jon Leiberman, Orioles Digest.